blitz. Rodgers gets out, floats it. Cobb! Touchdown!
Tell me goodbye when I'm gone, and I'm gonna live forever, so you can't never tell me goodbye. I'm here forever. I'm immortal. I'm a statue. I'm a public figure, trophy that's nice and shiny. I'm here forever like air. Nobody say goodbye to the air.
I know, dude.
Most dedicated.
These goddamn twins out here. Highly regulated, most dedicated. Like it ain't nothing new. We really about that life. We out here. You already know what it is. It's week 11.
Packers lost.
Packers lost.
We're still up though. We're still feeling all right. We're here for the pod, baby.
We're here for the pod. To be honest with you, I don't really give a fuck. Whenever my fantasy players play against the Packers, I hope they go off. The older you get, the less I guess the less committed you are to one team. You start to value on personal things in your life more than just a small.
You always been that way, bro. You always rather have the Packers lose if you got your fantasy going. See, I will take one for the team.
I don't know. I feel like the team doesn't give me enough, so I don't feel like putting in all this effort to this team when they just take. I will say this though, in my personal life, I've been trying to have like zero expectations with like a lot of things, because that way you can't get let down and you don't have expectations from people in your life, and then whatever happens. I just got a text. I got it on my computer. Johnny Blunt says, "Where's the podcast?" We're fucking here.
We should tell him to hop on.
Yeah, tell him to hop on. Drop the link.
I will.
But yeah, I don't know. Just in general, it's nice just not having expectations. I don't know, and that's what's nice about the Packers, in my opinion, because I don't really have expectations for them. It's kind of a blessing. I was in Chicago a couple weeks ago, and I was telling them I was kind of envious that you guys can just watch a game with zero expectations, just be like, all right, I just want Justin Fields to do good, but I don't care if they win. And they have that. But I will say though, even though the Packers like always get to the big game and they always let us down, I fucking love the ride. Whether it's the Bucks or the Packers, like the ride is what makes it like so enjoyable and so much fun. So
yeah.
What are the Packers now? They're 4-7.
Oh God, yeah. Let's see. 4-7.
Probably have to win out, right?
They have a 6% chance of making the playoffs, according to this little playoff calculator. Not great, Bob. But I mean, we look like shit. Hopefully we fire Barry, get Barry out. We got Amari Rodgers out, so there's one positive. I don't know. We were all riding high, thinking that Rodgers, even though he is down by 14 points again entering the fourth quarter, saw some tweet. He has there's not a lot of like people who can win it down 14 plus points in the fourth quarter. Uh, looks like Rodgers has the most. Hello.
What is that? Is that who I think it is? Is that who is that? Is that
Sad Packer fan.
oh, no such thing.
Lots
No
of
such
us.
thing. No such thing. We were just talking. There's no expectations.
Except to
Fair.
fire the D coordinator.
I mean, I guess, are people that unfocused that Jair lets Treylon Burks go for 50 yards at the end of the game?
Already a lost cause. I know you were at the Marquette game, but it was already a lost cause. It was really just our prototypical bend but don't break defense where we let these shitty quarterbacks get in a rhythm with these little dump off throws. Like Ryan Tannehill wants to throw little in-breaking routes in the middle of the field, and we just invite that every single time. And we have Darnell Savage playing nickel, who's usually playing 30 yards back, not covering anyone. Now we're trying to get him towards the line of scrimmage. He ain't it. So I don't know what pick. So we're all about draft value here with a Dynasty Fantasy Football League. So if you're the Packers right now and you're thinking from a dynasty perspective, what would you do with their team? Would you be looking to trade Aaron Rodgers? I think the Tennessee Titans are a good team to trade Aaron Rodgers to. All about the boys. He has a defensive minded like head coach that he'll respect, who already has a locker room. He can just go there and be a player at the end of his career. The Packers have 2 first-round picks this year, right? They have their own and the Raiders, or no?
Oh, I don't think so.
No, they just have
We
one.
didn't get any picks from the Raiders,
We
They
got a
did,
first and a second.
but not this year.
Yeah, not this year.
God, I wish we had that Raiders
Did they
pick.
turn
I
it
thought
into
we did.
it was Walker and Watson ultimately, right? Like that's what it turned into.
Oh, we got their picks last year. Oh, that's all it
Yeah.
was just last year.
Because we traded our 2 picks then to move up in the second.
Yeah, that is bad. It's always nice to have those picks in the pocket because there's always just so much potential. I know
Yeah.
you boys know. But yeah, so again, we already started the episode. Bob and I did a little intro here, but we're back. And you guys saw in the clip, we had a special guest joining us. We got 2 special guests. What with the zoom in? Looking like he came fresh out of a fucking date, looking good,
The
baby.
twins.
What up, team?
What up? But
What
so
up?
Will Kiper Jr., if you are the Packers GM thinking from a dynasty perspective, what are you doing to fix their team for the future?
I do agree that you have to sell Aaron Rodgers. Who would buy that? The Packers, if Aaron
TV?
Rodgers is the worst contract in football right now, it might be David Bakhtiari. So I mean, I'm not sure what they do with all of the sunk costs that they have. Nice, Bob. But yeah, I'm really concerned, honestly. And what I would say is to counter that sunk cost on offense, go all.
We can't hear you, Will. But you said to counter that. Oh, now I can't hear anyone. Can you guys hear me or no?
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you guys now. All right, sorry about that. Did you guys hear what Willie was saying after the sunk costs on offense?
No, my computer is not the best. I apologize. That was me.
You still rocking that from your Madison days, the same MacBook 2012? I still got mine up and running.
Yeah, wow. You have a
Mine's
way
behind me.
connection than me.
Oh no, this isn't that. We're on that Mac. That was last episode we talked about that, but yeah.
Damn
Apple boys.
impressive.
Mac boys.
Mac boys with the Mac boys.
Yeah, I mean, Packers should invest in defense, right? If they have sunk costs on offense, but they already did that and it didn't turn out. So
Yeah, it's weird in the NFL because it's hard to it's hard to bottom out. It's just so impossible to bottom out because the draft, just like in Dynasty football, it's a crapshoot. Like there's no telling who it's going to be. If you had like last year with the quarterback situations, Kenny Pickett was the only one that won the first round. If you're a team that's like tanking for a pick, I don't know. It's hard. It's a hard decision. What do you think the Packers should do, Jake, going forward? Because this year's done. It's over.
Yeah, so somebody Will did not mention is Aaron Jones. Like his contract next year is crazy. Arguably the best offensive weapon we have.
He looks slow tonight.
I mean, a couple days rest, that cold weather. I don't know. So that's another decision. Like who? Speaking of slow, AJ Dillon hasn't hit a hole fast fucking since last year. So I don't know what they do at running back. I mean, Watson, we can talk about Watson later. I don't know if I'm sold. Dobbs, I don't know if I'm sold. Like, who do they have? Truly.
Tanyan.
No, it's
Tanyan,
like
the other
asinine.
white tight end. They all suck. Two white other tight ends. They all suck.
They
Dude,
all
it's
suck.
asinine. Did you guys see the clip of LeBron like calling out like the Packers and saying that you have a generational talent like Aaron Rodgers, you don't put anything around him. It's just like coming from GM LeBron, it's just like, well, obviously.
did he really say that?
Yeah, they had like some stream today. It was like him and Jalen Ramsey. I don't know who else, but I saw them too.
The shot.
Yeah, they had the shop, but it was like live watching the Thursday night game. Yeah.
I saw
It was a
Jalen
weird
Ramsey
camera
call him
angle,
out
too.
for lying.
Yeah. LeBron's always lying on social media or lying about everything, but it's kind of like endearing at this point.
Just an old man on social media.
Yeah.
His
But
show
yeah.
is sitting in a barber shop. Like, how old man is that?
For the culture, bro, you wouldn't understand.
You're right.
I don't either. I don't got hair, so.
What do you guys think about their receiver situation going forward?
Lazard is not it.
Never has been.
I don't know.
Watkins was
I don't even
never
care
it.
about the Packers, but yeah, I guess we can just get into Watkins again, just because we can wrap it into Dynasty football. John Griffith started Christian Watson today, and motherfucker had 2 touchdowns in that flex spot.
That I guess that's why I don't like him going forward. Blip or chip, like aside from like the prevent defense. I mean, he had 2 catches for 22 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like, is he a realistic play going forward? He's not going to score every fucking catch.
No, he's
E-man?
protect about boomer bust. He kind of reminds me of, I think Chase Claypool has better ball skills, but he reminds me of like that rookie Chase Claypool year where Claypool really didn't do much, but he had like double-digit touchdowns. Or it's kind of like the Bob Tonyan year where he just was a touchdown machine. He's almost like a tight end in that aspect. But you watch him just like the intermediary routes, it looks ugly. Like he fucking the one he like fell out of bounds to like catch. It just
I
looks
was
so, like,
wondering, can he
scared, dude.
catch with his hands? He body catches all of his balls.
I think
like,
he's just so scared to fuck up for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers that he's just like. Some players like have it. You have to be like super confident in yourself to probably play with Aaron Rodgers. It's like playing with Michael Jordan and like having that mindset of someone that is going to be on your ass and just demands excellence. And then when you have like at the fourth quarter, when we had like 3 chances down 10, right? We had the ball 3 times down 10, and he missed like two wide open throws at least. And at this point in time, I think the Packers fans were booing. I think everyone's just kind of over this shit. Lil Wayne was right. He shouldn't apologize. We all felt the same way 2 weeks ago after the Lions game. The Browns is the Browns. The Packers is the Packers.
Just too good to be true. The only like saving grace, the NFC. What they say, they have 6 teams with winning records, 7 playoff spots.
Is that true? Really?
yeah.
Mhm.
Lions are in the hunt still.
You giddy about that one, Bob? Ooh. Why? Because you got Jameson Williams coming back?
Oh, maybe.
Is he gonna play this year or no?
They say he might week 13. So perfect time to take some targets from Amon-Ra.
Yeah, so what do you guys think
Nah.
about our playoff picture? We had some. So let's just go to Dynasty. Right? The Packers fucking suck. I looked at this NFL. I looked at this NFL schedule recent just right now. All these games are kind of ass. I guess Cowboys Vikings would be pretty fun. But other than that, I don't see any like really fun games. You said Sunday night will be fun. Chiefs Chargers.
Jets Patriots.
Exactly. Shit.
That's a good one.
What?
The Pats are really hard to watch.
Yeah, they don't have an offensive coordinator.
The Jets are cool. They're young and up and coming.
Yeah. Jets are
Pats
good.
are brutal.
The Jets should play Joe Flacco, though. I mean, Zach Wilson sucks.
I'll sell Mac
I'm
Jones
a
for
Mike
a
White guy.
4th after this season to not have to watch the Patriots ever again. I'll sell him for a 4th round pick.
You were so mad
That's not
when
enough.
Bailey Zappi was starting.
Oh,
You
even
love
worse.
Mac. You love Mac Jones.
Who? Mac Jones.
Who?
I love any Jones, frankly. I love having guys named Jones.
Yeah, you do.
You're
love
just
the
Jones and you're
nicknames.
Jonesing for a Jones.
Keep up
But
with
yeah,
the Jones.
let's flip it to Dynasty. So I'm trying to think of like what happened this week, but I know like a lot of shit went down. Can someone recap all the trades? Sal put
Motherfucker
someone on the
Jones.
trade block. We had some people in our league, in our chat listening. I appreciate that. I appreciate the feedback. Thank you so much. I'm glad you guys enjoy it. That's what keeps us
Oh
going.
yeah.
Just trying to make you guys laugh.
There was a trade between yourself and
Wait.
go ahead.
I got it on the rundown. The first trade to start the week. Will knows. What was the first trade to start off the week? Or Daryl Patterson for a 3rd and a 4th. The reversal.
We've seen it before.
I told him the start of the league week. It was at like 6 a.m. The start of the league week. I'm sure he's sweating all night.
Were you, Will? Were you a little worried at that moment?
Absolutely. I mean, I wanted my
You're
dart
such a
throw.
pussy, dude.
I wanted my dart throws.
Right?
You are such a pussy. I'm
I
a
wanted
man
my
of
darts.
integrity.
True.
He always had my word. He wants to act like he was nervous, but I don't think he was. My perspective, looking for some more catches from the running back position. I don't think any running back on the Falcons is good. Cordell Patterson.
Easy.
Tyler Algier, bro. Speaking of
sucks.
not him. But like even after last week, it made me nervous. Patterson didn't really get much action. But I think that's just Atlanta being terrible.
Yeah, because you said last week or on Sunday that you offered that trade like 3-4 weeks ago. Are you like, would you have made that trade if Willie didn't accept it like today or whatever this week?
Yeah, I left it out there for a reason. Like I don't think that's their game plan going forward. You know what I mean? I still think they'll try to get him involved. Just a depth piece, I guess. Jeff Wilson coming on. Maybe it didn't need to make that trade.
Yeah.
But like, what's a 4th round pick?
Yeah, I agree. I think he's a boom option for you. I think he could have some big weeks. But if you're looking for catches from running backs, I would look elsewhere. They have not thrown him the ball this year at all. I'm gonna keep it PG-13, but I could cuss for hours. They have not thrown him the ball.
Dude.
Like,
Will Kiper Jr.
Lord,
How do you
not received any passes, man.
Will
It's
at night.
How do you
brutal.
think the Kyle Pitts owners feel?
Oh, are they bad?
All right,
Drafted
Bob.
guy 5th overall for 4 targets a game.
Bob,
So
what do you got for the
bad.
next trade? What's the next trade that went down?
All right, so the next trade, of course, was between the commish and the master of coin, myself, Tom Brady for 2023 second, which was mine.
You wish it was a 3rd.
Well,
I'll
I was
say
gonna
this. I'll say
say-
this. Oh, Bobby, you say it.
I was gonna say I let off negotiations with the third, and then I withdrew it because I was like, Aaron wouldn't accept this anyways. But let's get the talking started. And I texted him first too, or no, I texted him right after.
Thirsty as fuck.
Hey, let me get Tom Brady.
Said no one ever.
And then yeah, I think I didn't like pay much mind to it. I was like, yeah, I don't know. He's gonna buy. I was like, why do you want him? He's like on a buy. Like, I was just gonna wait until next week to trade him. And then I was like looking through the waivers on like Monday night or whatever. I was like, well, I'm not gonna claim anyone, so let me look at trades. And then I was like, I basically just offered like a bunch of the play like Tom Brady to like everyone for like a second round pick, even Yani for like a 2024 second, I think I offered. And then Bob, to my surprise, waking up early as fuck. By the way, I think I'm gonna definitely change that waiver shit next year, just in general to get people to maybe use their waiver. There's like a thing called like Fab where you can like spend like a certain amount of money and you have like $100, let's say, not real money, just with like bidding money where you can like bid on players for waivers. So you're not like necessarily losing in order, but basically whoever has the highest bid, like let's say last year Elijah Mitchell after week 2, like people would maybe spend their whole $100 on Elijah Mitchell like last year. Like people can do that, or you can just be like, I'm gonna spend $1 and maybe you'll get lucky and get the guy. But yeah, so I moved on from Tom Brady. I'm kind of punting on the rest of the regular season. I think I could maybe win one game and still make the playoffs. And by that time, I'll have Deshaun Watson back. So I either miss the playoffs, and that's great, and I'm going to get the #1 pick, or
Ooh.
I sneak in.
Oh,
And then I have to play. I'm going to end up probably playing John Griffith, but we got maybe a clash coming up between Bob and Skins if Skins can get his shit together. But we'll address that later. So yeah, that's the Tom Brady move. So from your perspective, Bob, why did you want to move for Brady?
yeah, I explained to Aaron that I was just thinking in case Mariota gets benched because he has been looking like shit. And Ritter supposedly looks good, but I mean, who knows what happens. And so yeah, just in the meantime, gonna be probably rocking with Lawrence and Brady. Obviously Mariota, as long as he's still running for 40 some yards a game or something like that. But we'll see. Has good matchups in the championship week. Oh,
Gotta get there first. But what I was it's just funny because I remember we were talking, I think it was on our first episode, how you can't deny that Brady has value because he's going to be throwing like 50 times a game. I still, after like having him on my team, and Willie knows as a former owner, he's a frustrating watch. Governor, sorry, yeah, sorry, it's 2022.
Well, I owned Tom Brady. Everybody else I governed, but I owned that spot.
But yeah,
Sorry,
you just can't deny that he has like more value than like a Matt Stafford, who you ended up moving on from, because he's just gonna have the opportunities to just pick up like junk. So that's another trade that went down. So I flipped Brady for a second, and then we had Bob trading Matt Stafford for a second.
yeah.
For who's second?
Jake's.
My second.
Oh, wow. So yeah, so you basically just traded Tom Brady for Matt Stafford, and depending on where you think the picks will lie in the second round. So Will, what made you move? Obviously, we know why you moved Stafford, Bob. So Willie, what made you move for Matt Stafford?
Right now, I'm just living for week 14. If I can get a
Immediately
decent
thought
matchup,
that.
week 14,
Who they got?
the Raiders.
That'd be fun.
Gator Raiders.
Will,
Papa
do you
Matt Ryan just torched them. I feel good about it.
do you think the tank would be unsuccessful if you don't win the Booty Bowl?
Good question.
No, not necessarily. But if I don't make the Booty Bowl and am picking 3rd or 4th, then yes.
So would you have done anything different, like keep a certain guy or two?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is to tank, you got to get rid of points. So I don't regret selling Kelsey as soon as I could because that is a shit ton of points. What I want to still do is get guys to get to the Booty Bowl final.
So you're going to be active during the trade deadline.
He's going to be active for week 14, he's saying. He's looking for week 14 matchups to just win that game.
Yeah, I think Stafford is just the start of it. Yeah.
So were you moving for Stafford just for week 14? Or are you trying to position yourself in a certain seed within the first week? Like, do you have like an opponent that you're like looking to match up against? Because you play Sal this week, right? And
I do,
I think does Sal have more wins than you or less? I don't know. Call someone out. Who you trying to play? I know you said you liked Michael Ann's week 14, so you're looking to avoid her, and she's in last, right?
Yeah.
So she'd be the last seed going against the highest one.
I mean, she's probably who I'm looking to avoid. There's a few teams lately that have not been scoring well. Brady is one of them. Michael Ann has been scoring pretty well. I would not like to see her in the Booty Bowl again. It could be Brees and Bijan back to back, B City.
Yeah, so you basically just have to you just have to stay out of the last spot. I'm looking at what your situation is right now. Michael Ann, like it looked like Stevie was having a rough matchup at the start of today with Rodgers and Lazard not really doing much, but I think he salvaged in a decent game. I actually offered a trade to Michael Ann because I know you're out there watching, Stevie. I still want you to lose respectfully. So I was trying to offer her some receiver help. Because she could, the receivers she's playing this week are pretty shitty with Christian Kirk out. But yeah, so if you do fall to that 10 seed somehow, that could be trouble if you end up playing someone like myself, Yani, Jake, or Stevie. Like that would be a tough matchup. So if you ended up not coming out unscathed to that, or like if you ended up losing from that, I think that tank would be unsuccessful for sure. But you're Will Kiper Jr. You'll make the most of it.
I think that I will, and I guess, not to stir the pot or anything like that, but if you had to ask me right now, I'll take 10th place. I'll take who I think is going to be in 7th, Yanni, with Lamar, who's been absolute shit since week 4. Bring it the fuck on. I'll see you in the Booty Bowl, Jan.
Wow.
Ooh.
And he's got nothing to play for. He doesn't have his pick.
Oh.
True.
That's what's interesting about the Booty Bowl, the motive. But I was thinking about instituting something where basically where someone has to I always want someone to play a roster, but it's different at the end of the year too, when you're like clearly out of it to like make acquisitions. So I was thinking about maybe like implementing something where if you don't set your lineup, I'll play whatever players you started most throughout like the rest of the season. But I don't know if it's going to actually come to that. Most people, if I just text them, they'll just like set their lineup because you can make an argument for you have your third pick. So like you're going to have a higher third round pick. I think that should be motivation enough, but I kind of want to institute something that makes sure that they always play someone. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think we talked about the biggest, in my opinion, the biggest like dynasty prospect trade this week. TJ Hockensen for James Conner in a third.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a first round pick. Like, I don't know if he was underutilized in Detroit. He obviously had a big week 2 or 3.
Yeah, he had that one break, like massive game.
But I definitely think he can fill that Kyle Rudolph white tight end role for the Vikings.
But a little more athletic. I will say this too, because I've been an anti-tight end guy in the pod, and I moved for a tight end. But I also said that I don't have time for like a lot of these young tight ends, where it usually takes them like 3 years to kind of find their groove, where they're just like learning how to be a blocker and a receiver and just meshing it all together to be a good NFL player. Like, how long did it take George Kittle? He's probably no one for the first 3 years. I don't think he just came out on the scene. Hockensen reminds me of someone that can have like a George Kittle type, like 4-year stretch maybe. So I just moved for him because he's going to hold value longer than James Conner will, especially when I already said my position for the rest of the regular season was it is what it is. Like, I'm comfortable with whatever direction it goes, which is kind of nice. No expectations, living free. But yeah, I thought that was a decent move. I offered just James Conner to Hockensen for John straight up because I know that he's been trying to trade Hockensen all year. He's the type of guy that doesn't want to start two tight ends. I'm not that type of guy either. I never would want to start that. So when I saw Hockensen in his lineup, I was like, I think that he can do better. And James Conner with, Benjamin now gone, he's gonna have the opportunity to get like 5 catches a game. Where you talk about Cordell Patterson not being a catch guy, Conner is. I just personally don't like him. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm not a huge fan. I thought last year was like a
Luke.
one-off year for James Conner. Like I didn't really like him going into the season, but with no really proven backup, what a weird move to cut like a guy who's been successful, but no proven backup. I mean, he should, get a lot of touches.
Yeah, that's another Jake Sheck guy, another young running back on Jake Sheck's team. He's got a fucking whole stable of them. Keontae Ingram, who had one like it was a Thursday night game. I think he had a really good game. So yeah, that's another guy that James Conner who could get banged up, and Keontae Ingram could be a league winner or a booty bowl winner. So still Jake Sheck, one of the most definitely intriguing teams in the league still. Were there any other trades that went down or?
Well, if I could just say one quick thing about the Hockensen trade for Connor, John, what did wide receivers like ever do to you, man? Why do you love running backs so much? Text me and let me know, because I have no clue why you would buy a running back on your team. But whatever. I love Hockensen. I think he's going to be great for Minnesota, and Aaron, I think you should value him a little higher. He'll get you 25 points this weekend, and you'll like him more.
Give me that. I might not play him this week.
Anyway,
unless do you like his matchup for week 14, Will?
I love it.
Who does he play? I don't know.
How about a revenge game at Detroit?
Oh shit!
Oh,
they're gonna definitely do some play action passes on the goal line for sure, and get him a touchdown. That's a good call.
Yes.
I mean, if you want him, I'll take it first.
Yeah, you wouldn't take it second, though. That's what you said in the text.
2024.
Oh wow, releasing negotiation.
I don't know. My shit's out there. But yeah, no, I know that you like him. Well, that's part of the reason that I move for him too, is because you have all the picks, and he's not a mainstay on my team by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, anything else you guys got about league moves or activity that went down? Sal got Derrek Henry on the trade block. It's just weird because I was probably the one person that would actually trade for him, but with Cup injured, we didn't really know Cup's status. Even though if you watch the podcast back, I said high ankle sprain, 4 to 6 weeks, and high ankle sprain 4 to 6 weeks. Just saying. But I don't know who else would move for Henry at this point. It's tough.
Dr. Cubza.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, what's his outlook going forward? I mean, guaranteed 20 to 25 touches. Shout out to my guy Naran Hilliard, waiting on a Derrek Henry ankle sprain so bad.
Praying.
I don't want to pray on his downfall, but yeah, Derrek Henry is like one of those guys, just a ton of touches. What that means for him, I don't know, but
a points per rush league, that'd be huge.
He's a beast.
He is a beast.
Yeah, I mean,
he's cool to cheer for.
He falls forward and gets 3-4 yards.
So you don't have any interest in moving for him? Do you have any like outlook for your? I know your team is just trying to get healthy, but
yeah, I mean, I
think you could use like because who's your second running back right now? Jeff Wilson.
The Lord knows.
Yeah.
Kind of got a stable of like really like average running backs.
CEH. Gibson.
No, he's done. Gibson maybe. Brian Robinson had like a fluke game last week, so they'll keep giving his weak ass the ball for 3 yards every time. Pacheco fumbled and still got 18 carries.
Damn, he had about 18. Wow.
So that could be one. Jeff Wilson. The Rams, I think the Rams are done. So Darrell Henderson's pretty useless.
Oh, I forgot about him.
Yeah.
We got
anyone
him.
else have anything to go on about the league at all? I don't really have much else to say. How long have we been going for? around 30 minutes, probably, right?
I
Yeah, I
mean,
don't even know.
so I want to talk about the University of North Carolina producing supposedly good pro players, but actually not doing that at all.
Dude, I got Sam Howell in my taxi. What the fuck, bro?
Awful. It's
Why do you say
crazy
that?
that there's so much hype for how many dudes they've had come out, and the best player has been Michael Carter.
Oh, I was gonna say Eric Ebron.
Lawrence Taylor.
Jules Peppers.
Oh,
I mean, De'Ami
fancy.
Brown has been trash. Their receiver core is so banged up, and he hasn't played.
So yeah,
True.
that's actually the initial direction. We didn't have much energy tonight, excuse me, because Will went to the Marquette game. But initially, and going forward, we're probably gonna have like a type of segment. We'll do some ESPN like draft tones. Can I just get one like a melody, Will? Perfect. So yeah, so we're gonna have Will Kiper Jr. here, our draft expert, that's going to help everyone with their draft vision and maybe how they can utilize their picks. So without further ado, Will Kiper Jr., thank you for joining us.
Good to be here. Good to be here. So let's look. We all know the value of the 23 first. We've heard about it. We've heard a lot about it. What I've been thinking is about the value of the 23 seconds. And I want to take a look at pick 2.05 right now for 2023. Last year, this pick was originally held by Sal, team, Andy Dufresne. He moved that pick over to the Pooping Tortoises in an exchange for Tyreek Hill. It was a big package kind of deal. It has changed the landscape of the league. Now, at pick 2.05, Bob was presented with two league-winning options. Jahan Dotson, first-round, top 16 wide receiver out of Penn State. Unbelievable catch radius. True, not an early declare, but catches anything within a few feet of him. And Dameon Pierce, workhorse running back with the Houston Texans. Bob, with Dotson, what did you think about the value there, Bob?
Well, at the time, I really had no choice. I loved Pierce the whole time. Yani told me he loved Pierce, and I was like, me too. But I really liked him first because I thought I was going to get him in the third round. Dotson fell. He was technically top half of the first round, pick number 16, so I could not pass that up. It's like, wait, almost the same exact pick in fantasy as in real life.
It really is. Yeah, pick 15 or 16.
Way to bring the energy, Bob. All right, so where do you have the second round pick this year? So who are you looking at those spots in the second round upcoming this year?
Absolutely. I'm looking at those spots in the upcoming year, but I just want to highlight that's the 15th guy off the board. That's a 22 second. That's an important player who has, like, Dameon Pierce is always in Yanni's lineup. Dotson would probably be in Bob's lineup. I don't really like his receivers all that much. That might just be me. But
Ooh.
Same.
at 2.05, we were talking University of North Carolina. I said they don't produce in the pros. And here I am. Call me DeVille's advocate. I got Josh Downs, wide receiver, University of North Carolina at 2.05. 5'10", 180. We're talking Hollywood Brown size guy, but an early breakout age. He is a red shirt sophomore currently, 21 years old, will be 21 at the time of the draft, and has exploded in this high-octane North Carolina offense. Drake May is a prospect to watch for the future at the quarterback position, but in this next draft, 2.05, Josh Downs, wide receiver, North Carolina. Again, catch radius, great intermediate routes. If he went to a team like the Giants or someone who needed a receiver, he'd be a great pick there, potential league winner next year.
If I know anything about Will Kiper Jr., like I think I know about Will Kiper Jr., that this Josh Downs guy definitely has a touch of the downs. This is classic misinformation, political, trying to drive up a North Carolina prospect's value so other people draft him when he has all his second round picks and then he's gonna sneak in and get a little Damian Pierce, get that fix for that Pierce. I know you. I see through your games.
Well, no, that's right. That's very much right. And I'd be full of crap if I didn't add if Zach Charbonnet from the University of California, Los Angeles is available there, a running back, 2.05, depending
Michigan
on
transfer
spot. He too could be a very solid pick right there in the middle of the second round. Charbonnet from UCLA. Keep it.
Ooh, I
Will,
like the ring to that.
Any concern he can't cut it in the Big Ten, but he can in the Pac-12.
Jay. I don't know if you just watched the game tonight. Hassan Haskins was a monster on kick return for the Tennessee Titans tonight, and Charbonnet was starting over him week in and week out at Michigan. I don't see it that way at all. I see he wanted to go to LA, establish himself as, kind of this actor football player. He's got a lot of potential.
So you don't think Harbaugh got a little too handsy with him? That's not why he left.
I'm not going to get into Harbaugh. Don't buy Michigan running backs. I guess what I would say. Charbonnet did a good thing getting out of there. Take a look at him at 2.05 if that's a pick you might have.
All right, thank you very much, Will Kiper. I appreciate that little that update. Some of us needed that. I need that comic relief tonight. It's been a rough week. The girl that I was going on about and I was so excited after one date, this open relationship from Portland, hit up the second date. We have nothing in common. It's so hard. It was so hard. It was so hard to have a conversation with this girl. She just loves school and work, and I'm just the type of person that just doesn't value that. So I'm thinking that
vibes.
I love vibes, but I think I was just drunk at our first date. and I know she was too, because she texted me after that she was got surprisingly drunk, and yeah. So that ship has sailed, but I was walking my dog today. I got that confidence now. So I was walking my dog today, and right as I was hitting my peak off mushrooms, I took him at 3:30. I got off. I was on the park at 5 o'clock, and my dog, number one wingman, this other dog runs up to him. And this I started just chatting up with this girl. She has I think tattoos or piercings or something on her canine teeth or something. But she seems cool, but I don't know. I got her number. Her name's Kayla, so we'll see. I'm gonna wait 3 days, let it fester, and then text her. So
good luck.
Everything's anxiety.
All right.
But yeah, anything else in your guys' personal lives? Anything you want to shout out, call out?
My final comment. I think the trade deadline is going to heat up here after this week.
For sure.
Just keep an eye out on the trades.
And again, for a reminder, everyone out there, the trade deadline is basically over after the Monday night game of week 12. I don't know who plays, but after that game is when the deadline's over. So if you're out of the playoffs and you realize that with 2 minutes left to go in the game, text the person you want. Maybe you'll pay that second round pick when you weren't really willing to pay it all year. Maybe if I wanted David Njoku and I wasn't willing to pay it all regular season, but now I'm willing to pay it, who knows? Or maybe that price will go down if someone doesn't want to carry them over to their roster and you throw out that third, maybe it gets accepted. So don't be afraid to push those offers out there. And as always, don't sleep on us and we won't sleep on you. But we love our sleeper app sponsor.
Just real quick pro tip: get those trades in before the Monday night game. It's the Steelers versus the Colts, so you might be
That might be the shittiest game of the season, man. Wow.
That bitch is getting flexed out. No, there's no way they're gonna play that game. But yeah, Jake has a very good point there. But yeah. Again, thank you very much. We'll have our Sunday fun day wind down pod. It'll be very fun, and appreciate everyone for joining and tuning in. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
roll.